Today I'm going to show you what I do with the leftovers that came from this bandana quilt. So I end up making a few blocks that are like this, and this is one of the styles, or looks of it I should say, and then this one ends up being the other look of it. So I'm going to show you what you can do with those leftovers. Now, if you didn't see my other video, I'm going to show you how I get everything lined up. So two at a time. I find it's just easier that way, and what I want to do is line up that medallion in the center, and then all of these are going to be cut into 2.5-inch wide strips, and all the way across the bandana that way. Now, my ruler there is an 18-inch, and it wasn't quite long enough, so I needed to get out my 6 by 24-inch ruler to be able to do that. But now I can go through and I can cut my 2.5-inch strips all the way across, and off of each bandana I will get 7 2.5-inch strips. Basically, I just cut all those up, and since it's 8 bandanas, 8 different colors, then I'm going to be going through and lining all of those up in pairs. So I'm basically doing this 4 different times to get those 7 different cuts that I'm making here. And, is it really necessary to do this much lining up in the case of this block? Not really. But in the case of the bandana chip that I was showing in the background, it's really nice because I create some nice mirror effects. So after I have all of that done, now I can take all of these strips and I can line them up together. So here I have them lined up, but I still have them in those pairs, and I need to get those colors to where I have the same colors together. And so that's what I am doing here. And once I have all of those separated out and in a line, then I can figure out how I'm going to do my strip sets. And I want to have some nice color variation with my strip sets, but I also don't want anything too terribly jarring. And so looking at this, I think that yellow against the red is just a little too much. So I'm going to put that cream color against the red. And then, still not quite happy, I think I'm going to take the khaki, put the blue with the red, kind of creates a red, white, and blue strip set for one of those, and that'll be pretty nice. And then it's pretty easy to sew together. You just sew them all the way along the strips. And keep in mind, these bandanas, I did wash them. It's important to wash them. And they don't always end up being the same size. And so you want to kind of line up those prints to where, see, because like right there, it's not quite even with the edge. You want to be able to line that up so that we can get some really nice squares out of it and have somewhat of an even print matchup on the edges. But you just add one by one on those strip sets. And since it's 2 different strip sets, you could actually go through and chain piece it and do 2 from one set, and then 2 from the second set, and just keep going across like that. So what that's going to yield is 4 different strip sets. Now you could get kind of crazy and have all of your strip sets be different, and that is up to you. I decided to have the ability so that I could have 2 blocks that were the same out of each particular variation that I do of this block. And now what I'm going to do is I need to make these into squares. So that means I need 8.5 inches. And so I'm lining that up on my ruler. And then I'm also kind of centering it because I want to be able to take advantage of as much of that really cool paisley bandana design that I have available. And so it's pretty easy to just match that up, and I have my nice, almost exact squares that way. And this all goes very fast. This is a very quick block to make. And so now I have those lined up. And what I'm going to do is I turn one of the blocks from the strip set to a 90-degree angle, and then I flip it over right sides together. Now, what I've gone through is I have pressed open all of those seams. You don't have to. That's just something I prefer to do. And then before I sew, I like to pin the corners, and that is going to keep those layers from shifting. I really only had to do 2 of the corners. And then I'm essentially going to sew 1/4 of an inch around the perimeter of this entire block. And what this does is we are going to be able to make what is called a hidden wells block. The hidden wells block, as far as I understand it, was something that somebody came up with back in the 80s, or at least it was popularized back in the 1980s. And it is a very easy block to make. You do have to be a little bit careful with it because it will create bias along those edges. But it does create a visually very interesting type of block and very interesting quilt. You get a lot of secondary designs that will happen when you put a whole bunch of these blocks together. So you might even find that you just want to do this with all of your bandana strips. So the next step after you've sewn that perimeter is you're going to cut a diagonal in each direction. And I'm just trying to carefully line it up. I'm also using the line on the ruler to match up with the diagonal that I just cut. That's one of those things where it's kind of like a secondary way, a secondary marking that you can use. And then whenever you make this, you'll have like these little bits from the seam that kind of want to stick out. So you just trim that off because that would all end up being part of the seam anyway. And then the magic of this block is that now you can actually open this up. I need to press those seams open. So I like to press the seams open. If you like to press to the side, then what I would recommend is that you press away from where all of the seams are at. And a lot of people do like to press these blocks to the side. So it's just a matter of personal preference. But I really like how flat open seams are, and so that's why I tend to do that. And oftentimes I will have a mixture of both pressing styles at some point in a quilt. So right now I need to trim all of these up to 5.5 inches square. And that will make it so that the final block when I'm done ends up being 10.5 inches, a very nice size of square to be able to work with for your quilt blocks. So, basically it's just trimming all of those bits up and making them perfectly 5.5 inches. So now that I have those beautifully pressed, and the really cool thing is there's so many different variations. And so right now I can just kind of play around and I can see how I want to go ahead and do this. And so that's one style there. And then here's another style. And I've decided on just doing it that way. And so it's pretty simple. You just line everything up. You try to match those seams so that you create that nice diagonal. And so I'm using clips for that. You could pin it if you prefer. And once I have that, and then I have everything laid out, then I can just go ahead and stitch those. And I like to stitch them two at a time. And then that way I can just go through and press them and then stitch them the other direction all the way across. And that's going to complete my blocks. And so right there, I could press these at my pressing station, but I'm going to go ahead and do them while I'm at the machine. And this is a case where I am pressing to the side. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I am going to spin the seams when I am done with that block. And for a demonstration of that, I have various videos where I've shown that particular technique. And so you are welcome to check out a video where I've done that. And so very simple, I can just get everything stitched together and I just try to make sure that that point in the center is matching up and all of my diagonal points are going to match up as well. And then once I'm finished with that, I can get that pressed and spin the seam like I said. And I will end up with 4 blocks at the end of this. And so here we go. We have them all nice and pressed, and I can put these together. And here's where it becomes a lot of fun to get these secondary patterns. And so you can just kind of spin these blocks around and just see how you want to do stuff. And, if you're going to build a larger quilt, then you might want to spend some time on that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make bowl cozies. I'm going to make 4 bowl cozies out of these, and that will work. All right, so now that I've shown you how to make up this Hidden Wells block out of the bandanas, I hope you'll give that a try. Hopefully it's going to inspire you, especially if you do have the leftovers from this. And in case you don't already, I have this video here that you can watch next, where I make all of this up, the front of it, I should say, for only $8 of bandanas. And that $8 provides the leftovers for this, so be sure to check that out. And until next time, happy sewing.